How in are you? Give some love. Awesome. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story because I think it's really important. If that's all right with you guys, do you mind? No. I'm going to tell you why, because of some of the profound experiences that I had. So, you know, I came from, this is my family. I came from this experience where there was neglect, abuse, violence, sexual deconstruction. Every type of abuse I came from it. I had parents that really didn't know what they were doing. My mom didn't want to be a mom. My dad didn't know how to be a father. He tried his best. He was a really incredible people with others, but not within his own family. I was raised by somebody who was sexually molesting me. I'm just going to throw it out there, I hope you don't mind. And I grew up learning and learning and learning and learning that I just had no worth in this world. And I got to a point, and I'm an intuitive, I've always been an intuitive, I've always seen things that I shouldn't see, and something that happened to me, and many women go through this, even if mine was a little bit deeper, we go through a feeling as children, especially women, we feel other people's feelings. We feel other people's needs, and we think it's our job to deliver those needs. I'm just taking it a little bit deeper from what we heard this morning, and that's what happened to me. I was able to tune into the vibration of the people that were abusing me, and I thought it was my job to give them what they wanted. I thought it was my job to make them feel whole, because I felt so much divine love inside of me, that I had this pure acceptance towards them. Until they started chipping away at me, and chipping away at me, and chipping away at me, and I was left empty. How many of you have felt like that, where you just feel like people don't know how to love you, they don't understand you, and they chip away without meaning it, because, you know, we're born to survive, and oftentimes that's what we're doing, right? Everybody has their own story they're trying to, you know, grab onto and make real. So that was my life in the beginning. I went on and on and on. It didn't stop. It kept going on. And I want to tell you a couple of profound things that happened to me. So this was building over time that I just, you know, I learned that I was just really worth nothing. But things happened. My brother was very violent with me. And something happened one day. I was around, I don't know, probably about 10 years old. And he was very aggressive with me. I mean, he used to, you know, knock me down the stairs like this. And I'd wake up in the middle of the night and he'd be like, you know, violent. And we learned later on my brother was schizophrenic and he was very sick. And we didn't know, you know. And I learned to forgive him through that experience of understanding that my brother wasn't well. But what he gave me was this horrible, horrible fear. This horrible, horrible fear. So one day, he was, you know, giving me the look, and I could see it coming. And those of you who come from violent homes, you know the look. There's something going on in the head that's going to come out onto your life and your body. So this one day, something happened inside of me. Like, I had been pretty, you know, I didn't understand people didn't see the same thing as me. I didn't understand that I was intuitive. I didn't understand that I was seeing people who had passed on. I didn't understand that my brother, I could see his consciousness, and I knew, like I knew something was wrong, and I didn't really know what. Something happened inside me one day, which is why I want to talk about this topic. He came towards me, and something in me said, "That's the last time." And I picked up a pot of tea. I'm like 10. And I picked it up, and I threw it at my brother. And it wasn't that made him wake up. It was the force from in my heart that said, "You're not going to hurt me again." And I learned over time, that was my soul that was saying, "I love you. You are not going to accept this." I just didn't understand that that's what it was. And I had many, many moments like that, you know, that deep inner feeling. We all had it, and it's very profound, and most of us learn to ignore it. After that point, I just kept ignoring it. And I had moment after moment like that where this calling inside me would come to rescue me from situations that were very harmful. And I'm here to tell you, we need to, as people, really pay attention to when things don't feel right on a deeper, deeper level. Not just like, I think, you know, boundaries are, you know, we need to put them into place. While we don't have them, we need to put them into place. But 99% of people feel something energetically when it's something to them. We feel it. You ever walk in a room and you're like, "Nah, I don't know what happened here, but it feels dirty or wrong or something," and you don't know why. And then you realize later on there's this huge, you know, argument or fight or something's happened, and the energy that's circulating in the room just doesn't feel right. So for me, I learned over time that my inner calling was my grace and my saving grace in my life. That my soul loves me more than anything else will ever love me. That this divine energy that's out in the world where I come from will give me the things that I least expect and bring miracles into my life when I need them the most. The most. And that I have nothing to be afraid of walking through this journey. And that developed over time. When I look back, I realized this power force that came from within me was divine light. It was my soul. It was my soul saying, I will save you from these things. The problem was, as a human being, I was completely broken. And I had been told enough that I wasn't good enough, and I wasn't good enough, and I wasn't good enough, and your needs aren't going to be met, and whatever it is that you want, you're not going to get it. This life isn't safe. This life isn't safe. But I started to shrink even though I understood I had a divine force. Somewhere I understood that. So, all that to say, as I got older, I realized that this was going to be a very important experience for me to share with other people, because it rescued me over and over and over again, and today I have a relationship with this divine world that will save me, and I want you to understand we have the same opportunity. So that's a little bit about what happened and why I ended up saying, this is my calling, I have to do it, I have to help people understand that their divine power is the whole picture. All the other pieces are important, especially women, because we all have a sense of self that's deep, that's yours, that all we have to do is say, oh, my job is to make a divine relationship. Like we make relationships with our friends and our this and our that and our relationships. The goal I have in my life, as for me, is to make a divine relationship a priority in my life. And I hope that you're all choosing the same thing today. So a little bit about me. Now you know my story. I don't live like that today. It's very old. I look at that, the whole life experience that I've had, I don't feel bad about it. It's, I learned that my soul was going to save me from those hardships, because it did. Because nobody else was there. When you have nothing, and you have no one who's in your life who's watching over you, and you find the strength from within, what a beautiful experience for me. You were chosen. So how does that work exactly? What am I trying to say here? Our souls, okay? Our souls picked us individually as people. Everybody know what a soul is? It's the higher original part of you that lives within your body. Does everybody understand that or have a concept of that? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Who doesn't know what the soul is? Or your spirit is? Everybody's good? So the soul chooses a body. It chooses a body for specific reasons. Why am I telling you that? What I'm trying to tell you is your body is perfect for what you're here to do. Your personality was chosen specifically by the divine part of you exactly the way it is. There was no mistakes. You will be loved for the rest of your life by this divine aspect of you if you can just let it happen. But it chose you because you are the most perfect energetic force field in the earth, in this perfect place where it has to learn its lessons, and the soul is trying to have an experience with you. Chose you as a person to be with, to walk with, to share life with, to inspire, to be inspired by, to allow experiences to happen. Doesn't that sound like a love affair? Mm-hmm. Do you remember the first time you fell in love? Oh, yeah. What did you do to keep that love going? Do you guys remember what you did? Because I did everything. I was like, eating, I went, okay, here, well, my clothes are out. I would do anything to, get the guy who liked me. Right? Do you remember the passion? Or even today, if you have relationships and you feel that way with the partner that you're with today, do you know that feeling of love that you have when you're inspired by the purpose of love and giving it and sharing and eating it? Oh, right? What did you do to keep that going? Everything you're thinking of now, everything that's coming into your mind, or your devotion, or your feelings, or your passion, or your attention, or you're trying to turn yourself into a pretzel, whatever you did to keep the passion alive is what your soul is doing for you every day. Every day your soul is trying to touch you, love you, embrace you, direct you, It's just that we don't know how to pay attention to that. And that's my job today, is to say, how can we pay attention to that? How can we get into more alignment? What I have learned over the years, I channel every day for people. It's what I do for a living. And every day I come and talk to people's souls. That's what I do, and talk to their friends and their family members and the ascended angels and all kinds of cool stuff. They just come and talk to me in my sessions. It's great. And what I've learned is the common problem for them when they're trying to reveal to me what's going on is that we don't let them in. Our problems, our stories, our mindset doesn't let the feeling of love that the soul is actually trying to transmit to us